So there was a lot of controversy when you left, and I don't think it was from you, it was from other sources saying that okay, a lot of money were made, but you didn't get to receive a substantial amount of that money. So I think you should clarify it, because from speaking with you, you don't seem to have any issues with working with him and all that. So I think maybe you should clarify this gist.
Hey. Okay. Well, I don't think I have any issues. Like I said, he was my foundation. He helped me to thrive, to be able to know who I am today. So I'm forever grateful. That's what I have to say. I'm grateful. It's in the past. Let's let bygones be bygones.
For years, we all thought the story was simple. A little girl with raw talent, a comedy platform that changed her life, and a mentor who helped raise a star. But now, the grown version of that little girl has finally spoken, calmly, confidently, and without dragging anybody. And suddenly, everything people assumed doesn't sound so correct anymore. Because according to her own words, the decision to walk away wasn't forced. It wasn't chaos. It wasn't bitterness. It was her choice. And once you really listen to what she said and what she carefully did not say, the story becomes much deeper than social media noise. Before we go any further, if you love real entertainment stories, behind-the-scenes truths, and conversations Nigerians are afraid to have, hit the subscribe button now, turn on your notification bell, because this channel doesn't just repeat headlines, we break them down. Now let me tell you this story properly, from the beginning. For a long time, her face was comedy itself. That innocent look, that sharp delivery, that confidence that didn't match her age. She didn't just act, she carried skits. She carried storylines. She carried an entire brand on her shoulders while still being a child. And when people asked her recently what it was like working with the man behind the platform that made her famous, her answer surprised many. She didn't insult him. She didn't dismiss him. She didn't rewrite history. Instead, she said something very clear. That period was her foundation. According to her, that was where she learned how to speak confidently, how to stand in front of a camera, how to understand herself in the entertainment space. She described the experience as fun. She acknowledged the guidance. She even made it clear that she saw him not just as a manager, but also as a father figure and a mentor. That alone already shattered one narrative people had been pushing for years. Because social media had painted a picture of bitterness. But what she gave was gratitude, calm, controlled gratitude. Yet, gratitude does not cancel growth. And that's where the real conversation begins. Let's be honest. When she left that comedy platform, the internet did not stay quiet. Stories flew everywhere. Some people claimed money was involved. Others said she was cheated. Some said adults around her failed her. Some said she was ungrateful. And interestingly, none of those loud stories came directly from her. In her interview, she was asked about the financial controversies and all the things people said online. She didn't sound defensive. She didn't sound angry. She simply said she had no issues. She acknowledged that money conversations existed online, but made it clear she personally chose to leave those matters in the past. Her words carried maturity that shocked many people. She said she was grateful. She said she had moved on. And she said some chapters don't need reopening. Now pause. This is someone social media expected to drag names, expose secrets, and throw tantrums. Instead, she chose peace. And that choice alone tells you one thing. This decision was not emotional. It was intentional. This was the moment everyone waited for. When the interviewer asked the most important question, was the decision mutual or was it influenced by circumstances? Her answer was short, but heavy. She said it was her decision. No shouting, No dramatic pause, no blaming, just clarity. She explained that one of her biggest fears after leaving was whether people would still accept her, not as the little girl they were used to, but as a growing young woman trying to understand herself. Think about that. For years, the world only knew her in one image, one character, one style. Walking away meant risking relevance. It meant risking audience loyalty. It meant starting again, quietly. She also admitted she was afraid of criticism, afraid of comparisons, afraid of being boxed forever in her old identity. And this is where her story became relatable, because growth is scary, especially when the world already loves the version of you that no longer fits. According to her, what helped her survive that phase was having people around her who genuinely had her best interest at heart. Not people chasing clout, not people pushing narratives, but people who understood timing, healing, and growth. That right there explains why she didn't fight publicly. She was focused on becoming. As the interview went on, one thing became obvious. This was no longer the little girl people remembered. This was a composed, articulate, emotionally aware young woman. She spoke slowly. She chose her words carefully. She respected everyone involved, including herself. And that's why many people watching couldn't help but praise her upbringing. Because in an industry where young stars often spiral, she didn't. She didn't overshare. She didn't insult. She didn't drag anyone through the mud. She simply told her truth and left the rest to interpretation. Even when given the opportunity to list mistakes or expose problems, she chose balance. She gave credit where it was due. She acknowledged challenges, and she moved on. That level of restraint is rare, especially in today's social media age. So here's the real takeaway. This was never about betrayal. It was never about drama. And it was never about dragging anybody's name. This was about growth. Sometimes leaving is not rebellion. Sometimes it's not ingratitude. Sometimes it's simply a young person choosing the next chapter of their life, quietly. And maybe that's why this story is powerful. Because in a world that rewards noise, she chose composure. In a space that loves chaos, she chose clarity. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think she made the right decision? Do you believe young talents should always stay loyal to their foundation? Or do you think growth sometimes requires walking away? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you've enjoyed this breakdown, don't scroll past without subscribing. Turn on your notification bell so you don't miss the next story. This channel tells entertainment stories the way they deserve to be told. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.